30 seconds.
Okay. So I'm here on the what, like the Big LAC Show, or just dive into me or
Calloway,
Calloway?
if you don't hush.
Okay.
They wrote me off and I ain't like that, so I'ma fight that. The bad man, damn right when you thought that it was safe to relax, you gotta stretch that. The bad man, bad dealers with me for real. They right here.
All right, so we have Mr. Sir Calloway in the building.
Right on.
Do me a favor and start from the beginning.
Glad to be here. All right. I go by the name of Sir Calloway. My alias is Notebook Shouty. I'm originally from Florida. I'm a hip hop artist, writer, actor, Dirty South native. I am all things creative. I'm originally from Florida. I've lived in North Florida and South Florida. I was raised in North Miami and also a small town called Perry, Florida, which is not too far away from Tallahassee, a little small country town, where everybody know everybody. Everybody know everybody business. If you do something on Friday night, Saturday morning, everybody gonna be talking about it. um, definitely from the dirt roads, man. And I've been here since the early '90s. So by right, I'm pretty much an AT alien. You know what I'm saying? I've been here. I've survived all the Atlanta eras. I love to say I survived Freaknik '93 through '95. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, just been here ever since. Doing music. I got started in music around 11, maybe 12 years old, and it started with making homemade tapes in my bedroom. I grew up listening to, all the greats, the Two Shorts, the Spice Ones, the Eight Balls, and MJGs, and UGKs, and Ghetto Boys, and uh, just start making my own little homemade tapes in my room. I would what I used to do is I would capture like the very end clip of certain songs. Whether it was, and it wasn't just hip hop. Every night back then, I don't know if it used to be hot. No, it used to be 104.1 in the basement, Blue Light Jam or something like that. I used to listen to the oldie station too, and I would capture a certain portion. I would record the song, but that I would capture the end portion of the song where there was no singing and it was just all instrumental playing. And I found a way to take that and loop that and just loop that and loop it till it's about 2, 3 minutes long, and then I would apply my own little raps to them, draw my own little album covers, and yeah, man. I mean, it was fun. It was fun, and from there, I pretty much became a little more serious about it. I was introduced to it professionally through a family friend who had his own studio and he was a producer. And I was around 16 at this time, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I pretty much learned to hone and perfect my craft, where I pretty much learned, song structure and, you know, uh, not to rap 48, 50 bars. It just goes on and on and on. I learned, a 16, a chorus, a bridge, and how to project my voice and cadence and delivery. And that's where I got my training. That was in East Point, Atlanta, through a guy named Dan Lovett, D Mike Productions. And from there, as time went on, I grew and then really started to take it even more seriously throughout the mixtape era of Atlanta. Back when everybody was putting mixtapes out for free, that Piff and live mixtapes was the place to be, using all the technology that was available to us at that time, from the MySpace era all the way on down to the Reverb Nations, to the SoundClouds, and grew more and learned more about the business and the paperwork and the publishing and to understand that while we enjoy doing this and why that this is a passion, it's a business at the end of the day. So I learned to have my business right and my business correct, and You know, that's pretty much that's pretty much my musical journey. I mean, it's a lot more than that, but not to get into every single detail. That's pretty much how I made my bones and really discovered who I am as an artist. You know, the type of artist that I am. You know, my strong points and my weak points. You know, I'm the type of artist. You know, I represent the conflicted man, the conflicted spirit. You know, when I first started, it was just all kind of it was have fun, it was mindless, it was flex. You know, I really had to find myself because when we start, we sound like someone else because the influence is there off the rip. So when I started, you know, Snoop Dogg was the biggest rapper in the world. So of course I wanted to be, I think my first rap name, and there's some funny shit. My first rap name was 187 Dog. 187. Basically, I took a popular catchphrase that was popping on the West Coast at that time. Everything 187, 187, 187, 187, boom, 187. 187 was the thing. So it was like 187. You got Snoop Dogg. And so I just combined them bitches. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I was 187 Dog. I wasn't from the West Coast or nothing, but it just that influence. And so, you know, I said that to say, you know, a lot of times we don't start out with an identity. You know, we start out emulating, you know, the people that influence us. We start out, you know, so heavily inspired by what made us want to do this in the first place that we don't know how to channel who we are yet. It took me a while before I started channeling who I was. After 187 Dog, my name was Dirty the Southern Air, you know. That's when I really started taking a little more pride in the fact that I was from the South. You see what I'm saying? Because the 187 Dog was a reflection of how the West Coast was just rainy. And so that's a West Coast name. 187 Dog. It just sounds West Coast. And so I started to, I'm like, you know what? You from the South, man. Love where you from. And then, you know, Ball and G and UGK and that Southern pride. And I'm like, okay. Everything was dirty, dirty, dirty. Goody Mob with the dirty South. So I'm like, dirty. And I'm like, Southern Air, like Southern and Millionaire. Southern, I'm Dirty the Southern Air. Long ass name. This is back when you could get away with long names, you know.
They doing it again now.
What's that?
They coming up with long ass names now again.
Long ass names done made a comeback?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty dope. I mean, I like that because everything is so quick, instant. Get to the point. What's your name, boy? One word. One word name is all we accept. Hurry up. You know, everything is so hurry up. And people don't want to spell nothing out and they don't want to pronounce a few extra syllables like it's work. You know what I mean? So I think that's cool, but I was Dirty the Southern Air and eventually I shortened it to just plain old Southern Air. And then, you know, I can't really exactly recall how that finally, oh yeah, there was another artist at that time because I stayed doing research on my, you know, my name, myself, just to see what's going on. And there was another artist with that same name. And I remember I had been here first, but it irked me so bad. I was like, it's time to grow. You can have it. And I'm like, you know what? Just be who you are, dog. My real last name is Calloway. And so I went with Calloway. But then there's a band called Calloway. You know, Sir Lancelot, I want to be rich and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you legally, you're going to have problems. Plus, when it comes to Google searches, you don't want somebody to have to fish through 4 pages to find you because it's a bigger, more established artist with that name. And so I just added Sir in front of it. There is no Sir Calloway. I am him. He is I. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being true to me. I feel it's something that I feel good about now. And, you know, I just pride myself on being a writer. And as I discovered who I was, I discovered that my strong point is, you know, documenting the truth as well as my truth, you know, things that I've actually been through. People gravitate towards the truth, you know, no matter how ugly it may be, then they do a beautiful lie. Rapping about elegance and luxury, that's cool. It's a time and place for everything. But I know that would be cap coming from me. You know what I'm saying? Those are not my experiences. So my experience is, you know, things that I've been through, you know, some drug addiction, some alcoholism, you know, in and out of jail, you know, some mental health issues here and there. And these are the things that people can really relate to because this is what people are going through. You know, these are the things that made people love, you know, Earl DMX Simmons. Long live. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that make people love Scarface, that make people love the Eminems, made people love the Beanie Siegels. I mean, they honest. You know, the goody moms, they honest. We gonna give you that honest, ugly, pure, raw, and uncut truth. And so I document my struggles. I document who I am, and it's also the struggle of the common man, you know, the common woman. We're all conflicted spirits in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant tug of war with all of our souls. And so that's who I am. And I got the nickname Notebook Shouted because of, my wordplay. You know, the things that I can do with words, because I'm like I said, bred and dyed in the wool when it comes to the culture. I'm a true student of the game, and I studied cadences and rhyme styles of various MCs and cultivated that into my own becoming. And it's sport for me. I love it. It's lyrical exercise. You know what I'm saying? It's, to really exercise the mind and exercise the brain and the vocabulary, man, is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much who Sir Calloway is. That's pretty much what Sir Calloway represents.
That's what's up. So I was introduced to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a song out, pretty much detailing how to be a better man through being a better father.
Right on.
And I love that song.
Right.
It's not pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
It's not preachy. It's just some real shit that people need to hear.
Right, right.
How did you come about doing that song? What in your life inspired you to go in the studio and write that music?
Father came about, and what's crazy about it is, some of our best work will be things that we started on years ago, and they just didn't see the light of day for years. It stayed in a closet. I think like the verse, half of the verse, a whole verse towards about being a father was crafted. At that time, I only had 2 children. So my experience as a father, it wasn't that deep yet because I was young and I still wasn't taking it as seriously as fatherhood should be taken. But I was just inspired to write about, again, like I say, I came of age listening to the people who would talk about. You remember Scarface? Now I feel you. You couldn't tell me nothing back then. I came of age listening to that type of stuff. So I'm like, it was embedded in me. So I wrote that, and it sat in my bag of rhymes and, from place to place that I lived in closets for years and years. And got with a producer, Spitzwell, through the team, through Backwood Mark and Monster. And me and Spitzwell, started recording some songs together. And when he sent me the beat pack, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this, I ain't feeling that. But then when I heard that, it's something about that production that really just, it stirs something in here, right? And I'm like, this feels important. This production feels important. And so I had to think, now, even though I can craft something off the top to this right now, I still always reach back to my bag of rhymes. Like, that when you have throwaways.
Yeah.
And then when you have, like, this is something. Like, even if you wrote it back in 2004, you don't know when you gonna use it, how you gonna use it, but this is something. And even though time may change and slang change, the concept is there. The idea is there. And I'm like, something that I always want to do. I'm like, I want to make a song about fatherhood. You have the Dear Mama. I even wrote a song for mothers as well. But it's like, it really is not being done right now. And I still want to exercise this idea. And I'm like, this is the one. I heard it and I was like, this is major. This is something important has to be said on this. And just married the 2, man. It came together, and since then I've had more children. I have 5 children right now, and fatherhood is teaching me a lot, man. These days before I aspire to be anything else, I aspire to be the best father that I could be to my children. If I'm a star in their eyes, if I'm Superman in their eyes, to me that trumps Billboard, Grammys, any day. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be the best influence in their life that I could possibly be, to raise them to be good people, man. Just good fucking humans, dog. Like, something that the world is like right now, just be a good human being, man. You know what I'm saying? And if I can make that difference and be there for them and, you know, not be hated by them or feel abandoned by abandoned by them, that means a lot to me. So that record just I had to get that off my chest.
You just had a celebratory event just happened to you in the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody graduated. Who was that?
Yes, that's my oldest son, my firstborn, Taterhead. You know what I'm saying? That's his nickname, Taterhead. But he's a junior. He's, you know, DeMario Jr. And man, see, that's what I'm talking about right there, right? Like, see, that's emotional for me because it's like, that's if as a man, if you still ain't like, if you ain't had your wake up call yet, that you know, parenthood is serious, fatherhood is serious. It ain't nothing to play with. You know, when I was young and in my 20s, and you know, we doing what we do and just, you know, having these babies back to back, like these ain't baby dolls. You know what I'm saying? They gonna grow up. They're gonna grow up. They're gonna need things. This is gonna get expensive. This is gonna require some sacrifice on your part. You know what I'm saying? To give some time that needs to give some attention to them. You know, we got to put away some of our childish things in order to be there for them. You know, so for him to graduate, first and foremost, I'm very proud of him because that's something that I didn't do at that age. You see what I'm saying? He kind of broke a generational curse right there. So that was monumental for me. And it's just like a wake up call. Like as they get older, you're gonna continue to have like, oh man, my kid's growing up fast. What I'm gonna do? It'll have you questioning, what do you want to do with your life, dog? Your kids are getting big. You can't keep fucking around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Playtime is over. You wake up one day and they grown. They grown and they need things. They need tuition. They need their first vehicle. You know, will you be able to rise to the occasion? You know what I'm saying? And not to sound preachy, but this was my experience of fatherhood. And I have all boys. You know what I'm saying? So the responsibility level to be the best me that I could be. It ain't easy, but it's damn sure worth it. Yeah. And you know, today I'm glad that I could say I'm a good man. You know, I mean, I had my playtime. You know, when I spoke to you about old Atlanta, man, I did it to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? I did it to the fullest. The strip clubbing, the drinking, the drugging, the thugging. I did it all to the fullest, and I survived it. And so, like now, as a grown ass man with a firstborn who's now a grown ass man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, get it together, bro. You know what I'm saying? They watching you. They been watching you. You know, my kids can remember. A couple of them can remember. They're old enough to remember when I used to get taken away in cop cars in the back of the police car. They have those memories of me going to jail. And today, you know, I'm proud to say they haven't seen that side of their father in going on 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had a drink, did no drugs, and going on June 2nd to be 7 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And, you know, they remember me being in active drug addiction, active alcoholism. You know what I'm saying? And now, the dad that they know now, they know that dad gonna wake up, he gonna brew that coffee. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have some breakfast. He gonna be all hyper. He gonna talk 100 million miles a minute on that coffee. But ain't nothing getting broken today. Ain't no glass getting smashed. Ain't finna be a whole bunch of bitches and motherfuckers. And ain't nobody going to jail. Just positive energy, man. And I just want them to see that in me. That, hey, man, you know, have your fun. As you come of age, you have your fun. You're going to be 21. You're going to be of legal age to do this, but just do it responsibly. Do it responsibly. And don't cut the food the way I did. You know your limitations. You know, I did everything to the fullest. It's a much more dangerous time now, so I would definitely be careful with any and everything that you choose to do.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Being a part of Low Breed,
mm-hmm.
most of y'all that are in there, well, everybody I met, you all seem to carry similar philosophies as far as being a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what brought you all together, or did that develop within your time in Low Breed? Like all y'all develop these similar philosophies?
You know what? That's a hybrid of both. You know what brought us together, and Monster mentioned this in his interview. That Backbone Dungeon Family. You know what I'm saying? You know, I met Monster through Backbone. You know, I've been knowing Backwood Marv. We went to high school together. I met Cootie through Monster. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like, like-minded people. The reason we were selected, Backbone he wasn't going to involve himself with no too out-the-way knuckleheads anyway, right?
Yeah.
You want people around you that got some good sense. So we were already selected based on that. Like, you know, I had worked with Backbone, you know, got him for a feature, and from there, you know, he was like, this Calloway dude is nice. But then he also saw that I was just a decent person. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no cutthroat. You know, I wasn't no scumbag. You know what I'm saying? And then as Low Breed was born and it came together, we all just kind of grew together. You know, we still was, you know, a little rough around the edges, but we all just grew together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just, we going through our trials and tribulations, we go through them together. You know, if you're going through it, hey, man, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going through it, I need to know that you're here for me. And we just grew together, and it's just a collective of dudes that just got some damn sense. You know, we from an era, we from a time where we was raised by good people. Yeah. You know, our parents, our grandparents. You gonna act, what did they tell you? You gonna act like you got some damn sense.
Yeah.
That was tradition.
True story.
Where they'll come up to the school and whoop you in front of your class.
Yeah.
You know, things that they can't do now. Everything's illegal. Everything's offensive. And the fact that, you know, it's more babies having babies, and, you know, OGs are kind of fading out to the back, and big mamas are, you know, they transitioning and passing on. But are the traditions and values still being carried that our granddaddies and grandmas gave to us? You know what I'm saying? If you had a granddaddy, he gonna make you gonna do some work.
Yeah.
Boy, help me with this lumber.
Yeah.
Let go fishing. You're gonna learn how to fish. You're gonna learn how to crab. You're gonna learn how to do this roof. You ain't gonna be lazy and just sit around.
Yeah.
And we were scared to death to get our asses whooped. You know what I'm saying? So those traditional values are embedded in all of us because we're all capsules from that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's really our job to kind of pass it on to our children so it doesn't die out, because I'm telling you, they're running wild out here, man. Everything is out of control, man.
Yeah, true story.
It's out of control. Like the news that I'm seeing now, the news that come across my YouTube feed right now, man, like I got so much empathy, man. My heart is broken, you know, because I feel for people even when it ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, if I hear that somebody lost their son last night in a senseless shooting, I'd be hurt by that. I don't even know these people, right? But it's called having compassion for another human being. It's called being a decent person. You know, you don't got to be selfish with it. As long as it wasn't mine, I don't give a damn. That's the wrong attitude to have. Because what if it is yours the next time? You know, it's just, it's dangerous out here now. It's crazy, man. So it's very important that we continue to, you know, carry on tradition, man. You know, codes, morals, values, ethics, all of that. It means something.
So, I'm going to go back to something you said a couple of minutes ago. You said Backbone wasn't trying to deal with nobody, no scumbags. How do you feel about now in this age where most people that are famous and are able to get messages out to the youth are portraying themselves as such? Like that's the cool thing to be, scumbag or scammer, and all that type of
jugging and all that, running off on the plug.
Like we around the same age. And we grew up in the same era where we were ashamed. We had to do what we had to do, but we were ashamed for everybody to know we were doing what we were doing.
That we was a thief.
Yeah, that you had
embarrassed to be a thief. I ain't gonna tell y'all I'm a thief.
Yeah, you scamming somebody out their money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We knew whatever we had to do to feed us and ours. Right. Now they're doing it for fun. Yeah. Raising 5 men. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about
that? Them seeing that is cool.
Oh, you know what, man? If it was just art and only art and just entertainment and only entertainment, I wouldn't really have too many opinions about it. But seeing as how it's more than art and entertainment.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a life. These kids are doing what you said.
Yeah.
It's kids that's dead right now because they ran off on the plug.
Yeah.
Playing with the cartel.
Yeah.
Because a song said it. You know what I'm saying? These people will put you in barrels, man, and set you on fire, bro. Like, it ain't nothing to play with. Like, the fact that kids are taking this to heart and really applying this to their lives is what makes it dangerous. And, you know, you mentioned my 5 sons. That's what makes me want to, you know, really, really, you know, stand up, stand in, and be just a driving force in their life so much. Because I know how influential some of their favorite rap stars and stuff can be. You know, I got to keep them close. You know, you don't need to, I want you to understand, you don't need to join no gang. You know, and the thing about it is, you ain't got no dumbass daddy. You know what I'm saying? I peep and recognize game. You know, if you ever come around me high, I'ma know you high. Cause I used to get high. You know what I'm saying? If you involved in, I'm gonna know these things. And most parents know anyway. You got a gut feeling when something ain't right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's my job to, you know, who that boy right there. You know, I'm old school. Who that boy? Who you? You know what I'm saying? If I see you with a new friend that I ain't never seen before, I'm that dad. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Who you? Who your people? You know, like we do in the country. Who your people? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, know who your kids is hanging with too, though. That's another thing.
Exactly. You
know, you can't just be, they riding with some strange little fella that, you know, that you ain't never seen. You know, do your research. Who your people? You know, I don't need you riding with nobody that's finna, hey man, stop right here at this, I'm finna run in here and get some, stop at the bank. I'm finna run in this bank and grab some money right quick. You out there chilling, you thinking he just going to the ATM. He be like, no, nigga, I really went in the bank and got some money. I robbed that motherfucker. Drive, nigga, go. You know what I'm saying? And now your child is going down for accessory to robbery. Like, I ponder all the things that could go wrong, you know, scenarios. And these are the things that you have to have conversations with your sons about. Just like we have to have conversations with our sons about, and our daughters, about what to do when you're pulled over by the police. You also got to have conversations about the company you keep, intuition, gut feeling. You're going out to a party. You can't keep them locked in a cellar, you know, to keep them, you know, to hide them from the world. I would love to.
I was saying, why the hell you can't?
Man, bro, I would love to. I really would, but that ain't healthy, and they got to get out here in the jungle, and they got to learn how to survive, because we won't be here forever. And if we don't teach them that, they ain't gonna know.
True story.
Right? So it's like, it's little things like, okay, you going to a party, whoop-de-whoop, all right, cool. And I'm like, well, listen, if a fight jump off, what do? Get the hell on. That's right. You know what I'm saying? If you see trouble brewing, if you see an argument escalating, what do? Party's over. Get the hell on. Because in this day and age, it ain't gonna just be no fight. It won't be long for the bullets start flying.
Yeah.
And those are the conversations I just seen a story before I headed over here in Florida at a club, a rap concert, 20 shot, 2 dead.
Yep, Miami.
That's a mass shooting.
Yeah.
You know, we want to blame the older, crazy 40-year-old white guy, but that was a mass shooting. These are people's children who went to this concert. Imagine their parents, okay, have fun. They didn't see that coming. But what I was saying about if you see trouble brewing, all of that stand around, World Star, and record it, no, get the hell on. It's a different day. It's like when I was coming up, if two people got to fight, of course we're going to stand around and we're going to watch the fight. Ooh, 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 ooh. It was innocent. Nobody died. Nigga walk away lumped up, you know what I'm saying? And then you make fun of, ooh, why you fucked up, why? But, you know, it was over it. And everybody lived the next day. We was
like
alive.
You said, back in our day, these clubs in Atlanta, we had plenty mass shootings. We just didn't call them that.
True.
Where people would go out to their car and grab a gun and shoot 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
Like, that's a mass shooting, but we didn't call it that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been in clubs plenty of times where we've left somebody step on somebody's shoe or somebody get to fighting and 3, 4, 5 folks shot. Yeah. They might not have died. And they might not have reported it because it was black people doing it to each other. Mm-hmm. But it was plenty of them things, man, in Atlanta.
Right, but you don't think it's worse now? Just a little bit? It's a little more out of control now?
I think it's the same.
You think it's the same?
I think media
is
I think people being able to get information faster makes it look worse.
Right.
But I think it's about the same. I don't think violence has evolved. I think
violence has always been here.
I think it's the exact same. You can just see it easier now. Mm-hmm. Because back when we were teenagers in our early 20s, it took a while for the news to get to you.
Right.
Now, Facebook, you know about a shooting right away.
Right away.
You know what I mean? But 20 years ago, you know what I mean, at the outset of MySpace and all that stuff, it took a while for it to pop up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the age of information is just, it makes it seem intensified, is what you're saying.
It's faster.
Faster. Like, right, you get a notification that it just happened. So it makes you think, it puts you in panic mode, like, oh shit, it's dangerous out here.
Right away. But
that's a different perspective.
But we so groomed now. My phone keep going out. I'm trying to see who talking and who doing what while we doing the interview. I'm sorry. If I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at Monster said notebook shouted. If and Jumper said sir with exclamation points. Poppy said notebook shouted. So everybody shouting
Right
out.
on. What's up,
But
fam?
yeah, I just think that like what we doing now, this was unheard of 10 years ago.
True.
Me talking to you right now and being able to put it out to the masses right away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the news could do it, but even then they had to give some prep time. So a news broadcast start 10 minutes before we see it. But now this is instantaneous.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's worse now. The kids are worse." No, the kids are the same.
I think it's debatable, bro. I really do. This is a great conversation, though. This is great. This is a great dialogue. I like the perspective, because what you're saying is real, but you can't deny that it's a different type of kid out here now.
It's the same.
Nah, bro.
You know what's changed? And you said it earlier.
The parents are younger.
The parents changed.
Yeah.
The kids are gonna do what kids are gonna do.
Right.
It's a kid's job to try to hurt themselves.
Yeah. Or try to hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will say this, though. I don't want to put everything on the youth like it's their fault. And this is not even all the youth. This is just, the crime wave that, appears to be going on all over the nation, right? All over, everywhere right now, right? In a lot of ways, we may have failed them.
We have.
We have to take some of the blame for that. If the generation, if this generation is bad, you might have to look at the previous generation.
That's
what
exactly
part did y'all play in that? How did you fail them?
What happened was, and I remember when it happened. I was in 3rd grade when it happened. You can't whoop your kids no more.
That's a problem too. And the fact that you can't even, everything's illegal and shit.
You can't yell at your kids because of their mental health.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a young lady at work the other day. I work at several warehouses in the Atlanta area. And I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she said she yelled at her daughter, and her sister said, "If you yell at her again like that, I'm calling the police." It was dead ass serious. And I said, "Wow." And she said, "Yeah, man, you got to think about your kids' mental health." I said, your daughter's mental health will be way worse.
Right.
If she go out and do something stupid because she didn't get yelled at.
True.
And that's
playing a part in it too, bro.
It's like people say, I want my kid to be better than me. Well, at least have them start off as being as good as you. And people don't see that. This ain't my interview. This is your interview.
No, but that conversation is what really truly makes an interview.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want me to talk about myself, but I'm like, it's only interesting to a certain extent. Let's get a conversation going on.
It's very interesting. Like,
Right.
people don't realize how interesting. I just did a show before Kuda came in.
Right.
And the guy was talking about the guy named DC. He was talking about his experience being homosexual, and he was saying why it happened. He was raped when he was a kid. He said that played a big part in it because before he even knew a woman, a man had violated him. So he thought when he saw his mom being done the same way by a man, he figured everybody do this.
Right.
And so that would lead him down the path of being homosexual.
Right.
So listening to people's stories, like when you talking about you earlier, see, to me, the 4 or 5 people that's watching right now may not be interested in them.
Right.
But to me, it's interesting to me because I love to hear people talk about themselves. Yeah. Because you may lie and say you're bigger than what you are. Right. You may lie and say whatever, but it's some truth in those lies. Right. Because if you find out the truth, you realize what type of person you're dealing with, and you figure out their mindset. Because why did they lie about doing so? I got 15 pair of shoes in the house, and then you go, oh, okay, he balling. But then you go to the house and they all the same shoes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you go, oh, well, he didn't lie about it. Yeah. It was just the way I looked at it.
Right.
But back to you. So you started doing music around 15, 16?
11, 12, 13, 15, 16 in an actual studio to, like mechanically learn how to really do this. You know what I'm saying?
So you've been doing this for a while.
Right. But to take it 100% seriously, and the business side of it came a lot later, and a lot later.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah, like because you having fun at first.
Yeah.
And then you realize, okay, if you're really gonna do this, you can have fun, but this is a business and there's money involved. If you're gonna do it right. If it's a hobby, it's a hobby, but it's a business though.
So do you manage other artists, or you just focused on being an artist?
Right now I'm just focused on being an artist. I give advice, when I can. I can be an ear, I can be a shoulder to lean. I might do a little bit of consulting. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no genius or nothing, but I'm here for any artist that, hey man, because I've had people reach out to me, hey Calloway, man, how would you go about handling this? Or I'm dealing with this situation right here, and what do you think I should do? Or, give my creative input. My creative input is what I would rather. I don't want to give anybody any information that could hurt their career, but now creatively, if you want to ask me some ideas on some creative stuff, then, I mean, you talking my language now, because my imagination is, yeah.
Have any of your boys expressed interest in following your footsteps with the music?
Not music, but my oldest is actually, he's an animator.
Really?
Yeah, he's a gamer, and I'm so glad that, that's what he's into. It's a lot of things you can be into as a kid nowadays, but the fact, the geeks and the gamers and the Dragon Cons and the Comic Cons, he's one of those kids. He's the Marvels and the DCs and
you used to get beat up for that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you geek.
Now they millionaires.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm so blessed and so happy that, he has found his niche and something that makes him happy. It started with Actually, it started with him with Legos. Playing with Legos, and we would get him Lego sets, and he would build whole little cities with it. And he grew out of that and eventually started drawing, and the drawing became, how can I make this move? And it became animation. He has a Teen Gamer is his handle on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel where he animates and narrates, and the Twitch world, and that's what he wants to do. And I'm here to help push him along and help support him and grow in that. And one thing I want him to do that me personally, like, I kind of had a history of doing something and then I'm gonna put it down. I'm bored with it now. Just moving around from thing to thing, doing too many harebrained schemes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What kind of harebrained schemes you got cooked up now, Calloway? You know what I'm saying? You remember Honeymooners where Ralph always had something different going on?
I always had something different. Just drive that damn bus.
Yeah. So with me, it's like I was bouncing around from thing to thing and never just kind of stayed in. Attention was just wasn't. But for him, I want to like try to help push him, stick with it, stay with it. So that way 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, it'll really pay off and you got the experience under your belt, as opposed to, man, I wish I would have stayed. I hear so many people saying, man, I wish I would have stayed with playing the saxophone, bro. I wish I would have played with, stayed with, whatever they was doing. I used to draw. I wish I would have stayed drawing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I stopped drawing, but had I, if I'd have kept, who's to know what I could have accomplished with that by now? So those are the little things too. When we say, well, we want our kids to be better than us, just try to, be there for them and push them, challenge them to see it through and not walk away from it when it get a little hard. You know what I'm saying?
You want it to get hard. That's the
Right.
only way you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Once it start getting too easy, it's time to move on to
It's
something
time
else.
to move on. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get you out of here on this.
Okay.
Last question.
Uh-huh.
As far as low breed goes,
Mm-hmm.
where do you fit at in the Zeitgeist? I'm saying that word. Where do you fit at in low breed? Who are you? Are you the philosopher? Are you the teacher? Who are you in low breed?
That's a great question. I am the pen and I am the sword.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm the pen and the sword. Had to give you something real poetic. That boy say, I am the pen and I am the sword. I am the pen and I am the sword.
I will draw on your face and cut that at the same time.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the documenter. I'm the journalist. You know what I'm saying? But that sword is also, you know, when we need that, you know, when you need that cut, you know, I could be an asset when it comes to the defense too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, really nowadays, we all have to wear multiple hats and play different positions. You have to be an asset to your team. Okay, but what else can you bring to the table, Calloway? You know what I'm saying? You know, the fam will tell you, man, you know, I dabble in a few things. You know, I might even do some photography. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case, creatively, hey, man, you know, your album cover, your art cover, you know, your video, whatever. However I can contribute, right? Because in a lot of squads, ain't nobody really contributing to nothing but themselves. So it's like what we have is we really contribute to one another and to make this thing work. And, you know, and I love it because ain't no jealousy, ain't no envy. I mean, it truly is a group of people that root for each other genuinely and want to see each other win genuinely. And we ain't racing against each other. We ain't competing against it. Ain't no internal squabbling. It's just beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is, I've interviewed you, Kuda, and Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Similar stories. Similar. I mean, you can tell it's genuine. You can tell it's not some y'all sit around and say, "Hey, anybody ask? You tell them this."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You can tell that y'all. I've been to 2 video shoots and at a album release party and you can feel the dynamic is nothing but genuineness. Like you all y'all want each other to aspire. All y'all aspire to help your brothers and sisters be better than what they are.
Right.
Whereas these other rap cliques around here, the person that's in charge is the person that's getting the most shine.
Right.
And that doesn't work that way.
Right.
You end up being another DTP.
Right. Yeah, nah, man. It truly is a family, a bond, a brotherhood, you know, and we you know, we got some sisters rocking with us too. You know, brotherhood, sisterhood, it's familyhood. And we do this because we love this. You know, we do this for the right reasons. Do it because you love it first and foremost.
Yeah. And
handle your business. The business is handled. We ain't just in a clubhouse beating on bongos, you know, just because we loving it and we chilling. No, we really take this seriously. You know what I'm saying? But
be no bongos.
Yeah, you know, we just having a jam session. You know how some people get together in the garage and just have a jam session or a club.
Good with that, yeah.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, but like we take it seriously, but we do this because we love this, and you know, again, like, you know, there is no, it's just all love, man. We feed off of it. We're all fans of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I think Cootie Brown, one of the illest MCs. I think Backwood Mark is incredible. I'm talking about as a songwriter and, you know, just an all-around artist. The melodies, because, you know, that's him on Father.
Yeah.
And what he brought to that, you know, when I expressed, I say, man, I want something that, I say, this track feels monumental. I said, I want something that feel like, you know, Coldplay, some stadium anthem shit, right? I wasn't even there when they did it, but they called me like, hey, man, check your email, man. And when I heard what he did to that chorus, man, I damn near cried, man. I mean, on some real shit, though, because, I mean, I could feel it. So he, you know, he's incredible. I mean, Slum Beautiful. I mean, Jungle Baby, EXO, Milton Garris, everybody, what everybody is bringing to the table is their own thing. And we just, together, we create this crazy dynamic, man. We know we form like Voltron, and I'm very honored and to, you know, proud to be in this family and to call myself a member of Low Breed.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Give everybody your social media information where they can find you at.
All right. Sir Calloway, that's SirCalloway. Instagram, that's at Sir Calloway. Facebook, my Facebook page is Sir Calloway. YouTube, Sir Calloway. On all digital streaming platforms, simply Sir Calloway. It's very easy to remember. Yeah, I'm everywhere across the board, you know.
I appreciate you coming through, man.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you for having us. Got to do it again soon sometime, too, man. We got Chop Game.
I told Monster I need to come by when y'all in the studio and film y'all in the studio. And the last time I was supposed to do it, something happened, so I couldn't come through. So I just got to follow up on that, man.
That'll be dope.
But I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Let's get out of here.
Indeed.
They wrote me off and I ain't like that, so I'ma fight that. The bad man, damn right when you thought that it was safe to relax, you gotta stretch that. The bad man, deals with me for real.